Hi guys, hope you're good. Good morning. So I finally saw the film To Kill a Monkey, TKAM or TKAM. All right, I saw the film and I finished watching it early hours of this morning, and there are a lot of lessons to unpack. A lot of lessons. Your life is full of choices, and every day we are presented with these choices to make, choices to be involved in crimes, in illegalities, in diabolic things, or stay away. And no matter the level of poverty, hardship, or flavor of penury that one may find oneself in, is not enough justification for being involved in crime or getting involved in diabolic things, all these rituals, killings and everything. I know there's so much pressure on men to provide. There's so much pressure on the male folk to provide for their parents, their siblings, and their mothers and fathers, and their wives and their kids. These pressures that men are under move them, drive them to take certain rash decisions. Not that they are not aware of the consequences of their decisions, but they just want to go all out. But the sad thing is, most times, sadly, the people they stick their necks to do whatever evil they do, leave them at the end of the day. They abandon them. So sad. The wife that you stick your neck to do that illegal business for, to provide for her, or to meet her needs, as it were, will not be there when the chips are down. And so it's important that, my dear brothers, you are really careful about the choices you make. Yes, I know there could be genuine reasons for you to think of doing otherwise, but remember, in the long run, you will be losing everything. So what's the need? Just thinking. And ladies, sometimes we also push the men in our lives to go into crime to satisfy us, to meet our needs. And that movie reminded me of an experience I had many years ago. I met this guy who was a Yahoo guy. I had no idea he was into Yahoo until I met him. So I got to know him. He sent me a friend's request on Facebook. And what I usually do when I get friends requests on Facebook is to check out our mutual friends. So I noticed that one of our mutual friends was one of my paternal cousins. When I reached out to my cousin and asked him about that young man, and he told me that the guy happens to be from his maternal home. So I was like, at least somebody knows this person. So we started talking, and he wasn't in Nigeria at the time. He chatted me up. So when he eventually came back to Nigeria, we met. And the first time we met, I just had this knowing in my spirit that something told me that the guy was a Yahoo guy, my intuition. And, true to my intuition, he turned out to be a Yahoo guy. Even though he tried to dodge the question when I asked him what he was doing for a living. But he told me the truth eventually. And he was coming for marriage, interestingly. And the interesting part was that he said that we will tell my parents, my family, that he was into importation of China phones and accessories. And I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. And I told him that he needed to quit doing that if he really wanted us to have anything. But Uncle said no. He had not made enough money. Sadly. And he said, you know what, you should even be happy that I'm not into Yahoo Plus or Yahoo Plus. And he called some of his friends that were into Yahoo Plus. I ran for my dear life. What am I trying to say? You know, interestingly, he got married because a few months after that, you know, after I told him I couldn't deal with that, he sent me an invitation to tell me that he was getting married. Yeah, to prove a point that as I rejected him, some other lady picked him up. Well, I didn't care. You see, every day we're presented with choices to make. Choices. And I say that we have every right to choose right. So the onus lies on us to make the right choices. And so that film reminded me that I could have been maybe an Idia or a Nosa, based off the fact that if I had made the choice to marry the guy, I probably would have been a Nosa or an Idia. And there are a lot of Idias and a lot of Nosas in Nigeria who have chosen to stick to these kind of men, these men with questionable character, you know, are into such line of business. So again, it is a matter of choice. A matter of choice. And so if you haven't seen To Kill a Monkey on Netflix, I'd like you to go watch it. You'll learn a thing or two from that film, trust me. And let me also say this, that the love of money is the root of all evils. All kinds of evils, when you are willing and ready to do anything and everything because of money. You will lose yourself. You get to a point where you begin to ask yourself, how did I get here? And when you hang out with people, you know, the Bible also says that bad company corrupts good manners. When you hang around with men of questionable character, it won't be long before you begin to pick up certain things from them. My late father, God bless his soul, said, I will say this in Igbo. Mgbe ewu nna na-ataji so ewu na-ataji gaa n'ọba ji yobido tawa ji. It simply means when you get in the mud with someone and roll in the mud, there's no way you'll not get stained. Simply means when you hang out with some man who has a questionable character, who is a murderer, who does all the illegal things and commits crime, and think you will not get involved at some point, you are lying to yourself. A lot of lessons to learn from To Kill a Monkey. And not forgetting that what a man sows, he shall reap. And what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Efemini and Nosa, when they had nothing, they loved themselves. They had nothing, no complication in their lives. But when they started hanging out with the wrong guys, wahala, utiboju. If it's Yoruba people, I'm not a Yoruba person. Be careful what you seek. Be careful the dreams you have. Be careful how you see money. When you're willing to kill, to maim, to do all sorts of evil against your fellow human being because of money, you don't lose. I think I tell you now. So, the lessons I learned from To Kill a Monkey. Go watch them and carry your own lesson. Bye for now.